So today we're gonna take some awfully pitiful and shitty quizzes. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do today. Top 5. Take your brain for a mental hike with Queendom's all-time favorite workouts. Clueless test, the nosy test, the honesty test, the living on the edge test, the fear test. The new ones are the class reunion test, the sexual etiquette test, quiz categories. Let's actually hop on them. The cheap test. Let's just take the cheap test. I don't know what the fucking cheap test is, but let's see. There's nothing wrong with being frugal, but sometimes you have to pay more to get better value. Are you a cheapskate? Do you take a penny but don't leave a penny? Find out if you're a miser with this test. Okay, let's get started. Let's see if I'm a cheap bitch, cheap motherfucker. Have you been reprimanded on more than one occasion for not leaving a big enough tip? No, I haven't, because I don't go to restaurants. Do you use coupons when shopping even though you can afford to pay full price? No, I don't have any coupons. Have you ever bought an article of clothing and worn it with the tags on, knowing you were going to return it the next day? Who the fuck is doing that? I think this does not have anything to do with being cheap, but being a fucking asshole. Anyway, if you're doing this and you're just, besides that, a pretty good person, then, well, it's fine. We all have our flaws. As a birthday gift, you offer to take your new love interest away for the weekend. He or she suggests a hotel that is way out of your price range. What do you do? Suck it up and foot the bill, such as splitting the costs of the hotel 50-50. Tell my significant other that since this particular hotel was her idea, she should pay. Well, I wouldn't take any of those options. I mean, I would just pick another one in the same place. Suck it up I would suggest splitting the cost. This is something that sounds like me. You're out with friends for dinner. When the waiter or waitress brings the bill to the table, what do you do? Wait to see if someone offers to pick up the tab, pay my share, go to the bathroom and hope I'm gonna pay my fucking share. And I think it also depends on the friends that you're having. I mean, if they really expect you to pay for, well, quote unquote, expect, You're on your way home when your gas light goes on. Do you keep driving until you find the cheapest gas price around? I mean, no. If I would try to get the cheapest one if I can. But I mean, if I can't drive because I don't have any gas left, then no, I'm just gonna pick something because I don't wanna get stuck quite. Have you ever re-gifted a gift even though you would have been able to afford a new one? I've never ever re-gifted a gift, I think. No, I haven't. Have you ever been late for dinner with friends because you were trying to find a way to avoid paying for parking? No, because I don't go to dinner with my friends. Do you insist that people pay their share of a small purchase? A birthday card, for example. No. That's ridiculous. Do you do most of your shopping at the dollar store even though you can afford to go to brand name places? Well, I do go to very cheap places, even though I could, in theory, go to some quote-unquote more expensive and more premium places. But why the fuck should I? And I just don't really believe that this has something to do with being cheap. Score my test, let's see. Your score is 15. What does your score mean? You're definitely not a penny pincher. In fact, you seem to be fairly generous when it comes to money and won't hesitate to chip in on your splurge whenever you've got the means. Well, quite wrong, but the quiz wasn't that great as well. Let's just take another quiz. The fear test, animal pexay. So do you have a knack for memory games? No, I don't have. Caffeine challenge. Test your knowledge of caffeine and how it affects your day-to-day life. Let's take this one. Hoping that I'm also going to learn something and not mindlessly waste mine and your time. Of the following soft drinks, which has the highest amount of caffeine per 12-ounce can? Well, I gotta have to say, why is this important? Mountain Dew, Diet Mountain Dew, Jolt Cola, or Canada Dry Ginger Ale? I think I'm gonna go for Mountain Dew. I don't know why, but I'm gonna take it. A strong cup of tea contains the same caffeine contents as a cup of filter coffee. false. I mean, even though I guess white, well, a strong cup of tea. I mean, I think white tea, kind of the opposite of black tea, to just, yeah, quite, but not really, not necessarily. Anyway, is very strong in caffeine and or very high in caffeine as far as I know. Afterwards, they have, I think, actually black tea, and then you have green tea. So I'm gonna take this roux thing because, well, it depends on what tea you're talking about. Which of the following is an example of a more controversial use of caffeine? To kill skin funguses, to improve sperm mobility, to enhance the toxic effects of chemicals in cancer therapy. All of the above, none of the above. Well, I'm gonna pick all of the above. It is said that caffeine was discovered by Cleopatra while searching for the elixir of eternal youth, an Ethiopian goat herder who found his goats to be acting strangely after eating berries from a plant. I can't talk today and I can't read. 4 hours of sleep really do impact my health, my conscience. The Prophet Muhammad, who needed strength to continue his efforts in the emergence of the Muslim Empire. Well, no, med students in the 18th century working in the early morning hours on a botany project. Well, yeah, that's probably gonna be it. I think I'm gonna go for Cleopatra because I like to have it that way, kinda. Caffeine is known in chemical terms as caffeine, joey, 3-methylxanthine. I'm gonna pick this one. I don't necessarily think that it is caffeine. Anyway, which of the following is not a short-term effect of caffeine consumption? Increased metabolic rate, increased anxiety, increased body temperature, increased blood pressure. Well, anxiety could be the case. Body temperature. I'm gonna go for body temperature. Blood pressure, I guess it is actually the case. Headache pills can contain caffeine. Which of the following brands has the highest caffeine content? Excedrin, aspirin, Tylenol, or Anakin? Anakin Skywalker. Well, I'm gonna pick this one. I'm not gonna go for aspirin. I don't think that they're using caffeine. I'm gonna use Excedrin since it kind of sounds exciting, and caffeine can be used in the treatment of opiate drug overdose too. Wake people up, slow down breathing, stimulate breathing, reduce withdrawal symptoms. I'm gonna go for reduce withdrawal symptoms. Where is caffeine found naturally? Coffee beans, tea leaves, cola nuts, all of the above. How long does it take the human body to clear itself of caffeine? I think, well, it might be 5 hours. So I'm having 1 hour, 5 hours, 12 hours, or 24 hours. I'm actually gonna go for 12 hours to just completely get rid of it. Of course, I mean, it is gonna break itself down, or the body's gonna break it down, kind of. Isn't it like logarithmically, not linearly, but logarithmically? Well, or is it? Nah, it's not. Well, I think I'm gonna go for the 12 hours. Let's see my score. You answered correctly 5 out of 10 questions. This is equivalent to 50%. Your grade is 2 out of 5 stars. Thank you. The average number of correct answers is 4, which corresponds to 40%. Among those who took this quiz so far, the average grade was 1 star. Well, let's actually have a look at the correct answers. Well, the first one, the correct answer would be Jolt Cola or Jolt Cola. Then, yeah, indeed, a cup of tea can have the same amount of caffeine as a cup of filter coffee. All of the above, yeah. Well, actually, an Ethiopian goat herder who found his goats to be acting strangely after eating berries from a plant is the correct answer for who discovered caffeine. Then this 3-methylxanthine is indeed coffee or caffeine. Well, really, so not a short-term effect of caffeine is increased anxiety. So body temperature is therefore a side effect, but doesn't it? Well, I don't know. Like, I thought it does make you a bit more anxious and a bit more like, well, anxious might be the wrong word. Well, anyway. Well, Excedrin is actually the right pill with the most amount of caffeine. Caffeine can be used in the treatment of opiate drug overdoses to stimulate breathing and not for reduce withdrawal symptoms. I see. Well, fuck. How long does it take the human body to clear itself of caffeine? It's not 12 hours, but it is actually 5 hours. And yeah, with this quiz being taken, I'm gonna see you the next time. So bye bye, and I wish you the best.